All right, welcome back to Cube 2023. We have the ARG panel today where we're going to dive deep into what the cubed ARG was. And if you haven't heard those words before, don't worry, it was kind of a low-key thing a few months ago. Basically, this is how we teased the announcement of Cube 2023 a good few months ago, where we tweeted a QR code in front of the venue, and in that sent everyone on a whole series of clues to go to a puzzle, then another puzzle, then another puzzle. And these guys were the first people to kind of work together and break all those codes and find the announcement to Cube 2023. So I'm going to pass over to these guys, and they're going to explain how they cracked the code and what they did and how they worked together. Over to you guys.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you may be wondering, what was the cubed ARG? You know, that random QR code that was in the announcements, you know. If you remember, many months ago, there was this random QR code, and you didn't know what it was. You know, it took you somewhere on a magical journey. Well, if we pop over to the good old PowerPoint on the stream for me, I will explain for you. Right. No rush, no rush. Got to get it prepared and all that. Oh, you need to go back a couple slides for me. To the beginning. Or we could leave it on that one. I haven't got any stream delay, so hopefully I am on the right time, and hopefully we are good. Right, so the official story of the good old ARG, okay? That QR code, we have no idea where it went, and this is what we're here to explain. So, on to the next slide. So, we had a team of people all working together to actually solve the ARG. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, that's a lot of people. Well, right at the beginning, we didn't have that many people. There was people joining, leaving voice chat. It was, you know, you had people that were solving it, people that weren't solving it. It was, yeah, you know, loads of different people. Eventually, right at the end, we all joined together, and we found the answer, and we all solved it. So, what's brilliant, if we go to the next slide. My stream is very delayed. I do apologize. Let me find
basically what we got here is with the explanation of an ARG, right? An ARG, or an alternate reality game, is basically a way for players to be able to interact with another entity or community in order to try to follow a certain story. In this case, the Cubed guys wanted to promote Cube 2023 by doing this set of clues for their most dedicated users. And so they awarded a couple prizes, and they also let us know a couple things beforehand, before any of you guys also knew, because we dedicated about a week to this project. This is about half the team that worked on the event. And then we also had a bunch more people coming in later who were unfortunately not able to be here at this current moment. But they did reward us first for the first person who solved it, who was myself, Alessandro Amor. As you can see by my flamant VIP Ultra non-existing run that definitely didn't get replaced by sponsor. But I still have the VIP Ultra ticket. I was the first person to be awarded the rank for completing the puzzles before anyone.
Yes. So now I fixed my delay. All sorted now. I was 10 seconds delay. Right, here we go. So, yes.
I think an ad rolled on Twitch's end during the last few minutes. So I'm going to quickly re-summarize what we've been talking about. Long story short, the cubed ARG...
I've got it summarized anyway for it.
Oh yeah,
I've got it summarized anyway. I've got it summarized. So, as explained, without the ads, always the good old ads. So, the ARG was a complex quest, basically to solve multiple puzzles, as Alex has said, in a set-out order to get rewarded a prize. The prize was basically the first VIP Ultra ticket that was ever seen on the event, with Alexander managed to get this. It also included one VIP Plus ticket to a chosen friend. Lovely Codex had got that. And also they were first to know about the cubed opening date. That was the 6th to the 8th, and got a role in the main Discord. So if you look at the Discord, you'll see that all 10 of us, plus Alex, got a role. During our group discussions, we were solving the riddles and connecting the clues. The fantastic team decided, because obviously there's only one winner during the ARG, but the lovely team was like, you know what? let's make it fair. And we had 10 people who were runners up. That was us and all of the rest of the crew. So if you look at the original slide of the team members, you'll see that Alex is in the middle and the rest of us around the edge, because we were the runners up. The team were fantastic and decided, you know what? Let's add everyone else in. So 10 of us were added in, and that's why you see all of us. And some of us aren't here, as you know, but don't worry, all of us will be participating. So on to the next slide. So, this was in the Discord. If you remember, many months ago, in what's the sixth people? Remind me what the 6th month is.
June.
That's May, isn't it?
June. June.
That's May.
June.
No, that's June.
Yeah.
It's June. Look at me. Look at me with the planning. Right. This was June. Back in June, Tekken was like, you know what? Let's just announce a QR code, and we were like, what's this? You know. So we scanned it. We had to do a bit of photo manipulation to scan it. If you want to the next slide, we'll show you exactly where it took you. So, with the link, it took you to this URL. Now, this is the binary URL. If you went to the URL, it took you to this page. That page is still up, by the way, if you want to go to it. If you go to that page, you'll see basically a page that says, solve the puzzles, win the prize. The journey to Cube 2023 starts here. Work alone or as a team, and there can only be one winner. Luckily, as they're all fair, they decided 10 runners up, but that was the original message. Below is your first puzzle. Good luck. Now, some trivia and something funny to discuss. Alex, if you want to explain the binary numbers for me.
Okay, so basically, just out of the blue, I realized that obviously the strings of ones and zeros are a bunch of code. They're binary code. And the translation of it is the number 2023. On the left-hand side, you have the mathematical decryption of it, which I really won't go into detail of, because you guys don't need that in your personal life. But basically, all you need to know is that that series of ones and zeros translates to 2023, which already kind of gave us a clue to what we were looking for, because it was related to the next year's iteration of KubeCon. And also below this page, if you go on to the next slide, you'll see it wasn't only this message. There were a lot of images.
There was. So onto this. So on this page, if you go to that link and scroll down, there's a lot of images. And you may be thinking, oh, these are just cubed images. They're not really that amazing. Well, if you actually right click and copy, the name it says, for example, h.png and c.png. They all have different letters. Now, onto the next slide. That's fine. You can go on to the next slide. If we look at as you can see all the different letters, right? And all the different numbers. And when they correspond with each other, all the different images and numbers, they all added it together. So if you go back up to the page on the side, you'll see that when you put them in order and you jumble them around, you'll eventually get if you do cubed ! 2023. Because remember, cubed likes the exclamation mark on the end, because that's the event's name, right? And having the cubed exclamation mark is what's there for it. Also, there's a hype train in Twitch. Let's go. But there's an exclamation mark, right? And that's how we knew. Okay, Cube 2023. You know, and that's how we knew it was going to be one of the key phrases. So on to the next slide. So connect to the clues. Now, if we look at those images, now each image obviously had a C and an exclamation mark and a 2 and a 0, right? If we look at those images had an extra picture inside of it. If you look at the chat, the Minecraft chat, okay? If you look at the Minecraft chat, it has like C droids. Type train choo choo, yes, definitely. C droids, for example, had a H. C droids had an S. C droids had a G. And we were like, that's not normal. You also notice that none of the staff have their ranks. And if you look really carefully, when you put them all together, all the different letters, they do like a Discord link. If you search up C Droid's username, it doesn't exist. It also gave us another clue to go, this may go somewhere. So remember in the previous slide, we had cubed ! 2023. Now, the C corresponded to an image. That was the Twitch chat. Then you put them in order, cubed ! 2023. It gave you the Discord link in order to go to the Discord. Makes sense? That's where that took you.
Credit to Gem, by the way. Gem actually found the fact that it was a Discord URL by using a very useful tool called a link identifier. Basically, all you need to do is putting that string of code into the link identifier, and it'll automatically figure out what website it can relate to, because obviously every different website has their various different ways of making their URLs. Twitch has their way, YouTube has their way, and Discord obviously also has their way. So once we saw it was a Discord link, we immediately dove to see what it was. And what it was, you'll see on the next slide.
So, we were joined with everyone that found the link and managed to get on the Discord, managed to find this Discord, the ARG Discord. Now, if you look at the name of the Discord, it's obviously, you know, the good old binary of 2023. I do like that. It's very cool working out the maths. If you look at the channel, it was locked at the time, but there was also a Discord bot that said RG. And if you look at the About Me, 23, 23, 23, 23, 23, 23, 23, 23. Anyway, if you want to explain, Alex, about the 15 minutes, the atmospheric noise, how, you know, it was in a voice chat, the voice chat became unlocked and we joined, and the bot was making music and sounds. What was that about?
Basically, we had a bunch of theories at that point. We'd solved the puzzles relatively quickly. We were ready to just keep storming, keep steaming up the puzzles, and suddenly we're just joined in this VC by this lone Discord bot starting to play some weird sounds, some collisions of certain things, whatever. What we tried to do was analyzing those sounds via a spectrogram. It didn't work. We tried analyzing maybe if it said something. It didn't work. Until it did say something we finally understood, which was the number 88. It was at that point where we were kind of left very confused. Because at the moment it said 88, we were like, okay, 88, but what? Did we miss a part of the code? Do we have to analyze the rest of the audio? What do we do? And then exactly 15 minutes later, it was very clear what was going on, because the bot said 87. It was
then
clear.
86.
Then 86, then 85. So it was very clear by the time we got to that bot that we would have to wait until that countdown struck 0. It would strike 0 on the very next day, which is something that kind of left us a bit saddened because we did want to keep going. But according to staff, we did get to the Discord server a lot quicker than they'd anticipated. There were a lot of theories thrown around, such as the 23, because as you can see, the description of the bot is filled with 23. So we're like, it's surely 23, because obviously we didn't want to wait all the way till 0. So
pretty much.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
we got there at 88, right? And it was meant to go on till the next day. So it went 88, 87, 86, and we all just sat there every 15 minutes, and people took it in turns to sit in the voice chat to go, 87, guys, 86, 85, and it just carried on all the way to 1. Right? Did it say 0? Did it say 0?
It did say 0, and then it started playing
a
couple of weird sounds.
At 0, it started playing a bit of weird sounds. It then read this particular message. So on to the next slide and I'll explain. So this was planets. Now, if you read it, it says obviously Mercury, the first planet from the sun, Venus, the second planet, yada, yada, yada. You may notice that there's Minecraft. It's not a planet. Okay, now that's just sitting in the middle. Let's not worry about that for now. That was a red herring. Now, if we look at the end of the sentences, you'll see there's IAU abbreviation. Now, the IAU abbreviation, if you look right at the end, it says ME, V, E, MA, and those letters in order correspond to a table. Now, on to the next slide, you'll see what I mean. So, if you look at the IAU abbreviations, there's ME, V, E, MA, J, S, in the UNN. So, those planets are in order. Minecraft is a red herring. That's completely unrelated. We were like, what's Minecraft got to do with it? You know, we were very confused. What is Minecraft meant to do with it? Well, someone remind me, what's the IAU mean?
The IAU is the International Astronomers Union, and they have a very specific way of calling every single planet and celestial bodies such as galaxies and stars, etc., just so they can be easier to identify and easier to find for the astronomers. And actually, Minecraft being there is actually quite relevant, as a user, H3O Charles, actually found out, but you'll discover how Minecraft being in this list of planets is actually very relevant to the search at hand.
Yes, as Good old George says yes. We did spend quite long on this stage. That is very correct. Now, okay, I maybe said Minecraft, is a red herring. However, it played a very important part. On to the
what
next
if it's
stage.
a Planet Minecraft? So Planet
Haha!
Minecraft is a social
Yeah.
media that is mostly focused on Minecraft. What I did notice is Cubed already has a Planet Minecraft account, meaning that staff is already aware of this site. In fact, there are a couple entries of the previous events, such as back when Cubed was still not called Cubed, there was Minecon Server Edition. There was one entry from, I believe, 2013 or 2012. Someone's going to correct me on this. And then there was an entry from Cube 2018 or 2019. Either way, some very old entries. So I was thinking, wait, what if we combine Planet and Minecraft? Well, no, how do I phrase this?
Well, combined Planet
Minecraft is not a planet, but there is a Planet Minecraft. So I decided on a whim, what if I just put in all the abbreviations as a Minecraft user? Next slide.
You'll see. We've had a particular user using all of the IAU abbreviations of all the planets to get something very special.
So
this is a texture
we
pack.
know that we got this right because, well, mainly the avatar is of the ARG logo, but there's only one entry, being a resource pack. Now, have we mentioned about the blocks yet? I think we didn't, but yeah, in the meantime, we were doing a lot of these puzzles. I think we can do next slide now. Is we were receiving blocks. Well, by blocks we mean tweets of, well, not tweets, but posts on social media containing blocks in specific order. Go on.
I'll carry on. So these blocks were all in different places. Now, these, you may be thinking, these are just random blocks with different numbers in the corner. Now, before we carry on, just remember that the PMC with the texture pack, the resource pack of the different numbers and letters, leave that to a side. That's one of the clues. Okay, so let's leave that to a side. Now let's focus on the blocks. So these blocks were all in different places. Now they were on Twitter, Facebook, wherever else. Now onto the next slide, you'll see where the different locations were and who posted them. So there was there was Paul, there was Razza Studios, Sticky Piston posted one. It was on Instagram, Facebook. There were all these different images, right? These images, these cubes, there was 14 of them, and they were all different Minecraft blocks. Now, remember when I said go back to that texture pack? That texture pack was fully customized with letters and numbers. Okay, that texture pack, whenever you joined the Minecraft world, put it on. All the trees were different letters, the logs, all the different Minecraft blocks had a particular letter or number, okay, or symbol. Those letters and numbers combined together with the 14 blocks. Remember, those blocks have numbers in the corner. So if you look at the previous slide, if you look at the number in the bottom corner, you'll see they have a particular number, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and forth. So when you put those in order on a long line, so such as in game, and we combine them with the texture pack, what does it make? It makes a link. Ta-da! So when you link the two clues together, you'll see that each block in order makes a YouTube link, because the $V equals, and then we all know, and everyone knows together, $V equals is YouTube, and we all know that's YouTube. Make sense? So that's how we got to the YouTube link. By combining those two clues together, gives you the YouTube link. Now, this, before we move on, this part we started. If you look at the ARG logo, right? If you look at the ARG logo, it's got pink, well, purple, yellow, green, blue, and pink. Okay. Now we were going round in a particular sequence. Okay. You won't find it on the slides, don't worry. So you've got the purple, yellow, green, blue, and pink. Okay. Now we were going round in a circle. So we were going purple, yellow, green, blue, and pink. So the next cube was yellow. Okay, because we've done all the purple, right? So now we're on to the yellow. So onto the next slide, you'll see where that YouTube link got taken to. This got taken you to all the different highlights of a cube stream. Okay, this is 2022, and it was a highlight of the cube stream. Now, throughout that video, throughout that stream, if you watch, you'll see that there's a QR code hidden in different parts of the stream. So there'd be like one corner snipped together, another corner snipped together, and they're all be in different places throughout the stream. If you combined all of those pieces together, that made, what do you think? A QR code, right? So you'll see, if you go on to the next slide, you'll see it's a full-on QR code. And then scan that with your phone. And that's one much easier than the beginning QR code. Now, this took you to an online form.
Actually, Codexer, do you want to tell them about the online form?
Okay, so
that's on the next slide. That's on the next slide.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but tell them about it, Codex. Tell them about it. Tell them
he means telling about the actual way to solve it.
exactly.
Yes.
Please,
So
please.
yeah,
tell
go
them
ahead.
about it.
Yeah.
Because you clearly
So
solved it, didn't you?
Oh no, I did not. I solved it through my
Haha,
own way. I
Inspector
didn't
Omega.
solve the actual thing itself.
So the online
Oh.
form was basically you had to look at the different things at the top. So it said T6, F4, F04, and you were like, okay, what's this about? Well, think about it. Okay, Twitter 06. Twitter came out in 2006. Facebook came out in 2004. Instagram 2010, so on and forth. So when you went to those profiles of those people, so for example, if you went to the Cubed Twitter profile, right? If you looked at their bio, it had WA in it. When you went to Facebook, it had RL in it. You combine those all together, and it gives you Walrus Cam. Now, when you put that code in, it gave you a YouTube link. However, we decided to cheat. Codexer, want to explain?
Yeah, so if you go to the next slide, Google Forms is known to be very insecure. So I opened my browser's inspect element and then looked for the answer within the within
I'm so
the code
disappointed. I
of
had no
the
idea
form
this
itself,
was a thing.
because the validation is done on the browser and not on the server side. That caused me to immediately find the answer without doing the entire challenge that was proposed to us.
I'm so upset.
Simple.
Which was quite funny.
Fun fact, by the way.
However, we did go back and solve it properly.
Fun
right?
fact,
Good.
by the way,
Lies and deceit.
Walrus Cam is a reference to Cubed Cam, who's wearing
Yeah,
a
well,
walrus
yeah.
skin.
Yeah, Walrus Cam. because it's the
Initially,
Cube Cam.
we thought this was something else entirely, but
Yes,
It
yeah.
wasn't.
We put that code in, and we got the YouTube link much quicker. If you go back to the previous slide, you'll see there's a YouTube link. Now that YouTube link goes to a particular video. Now, if we put it, now this is the fun part. So we were stumped for many hours on this. Now, this is a YouTube video from the good old Nath that basically is him playing Minecraft.
Very poorly. This
It's
was
riveting
awful.
gameplay, by the way.
Riveting gameplay.
He makes sure
Yes.
to walk around at a snail's pace for 8 minutes straight.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was like it was from 10 years ago.
It is absolutely harrowing to watch that entire game.
He really wants to drag
And it
that out,
ends
huh?
up in a death that is the stupidest death I've ever
That was on
seen
purpose. I'll
in
be
my
honest. That was on
10
purpose.
In my, like, how many years already? Like,
What was that?
14
That was
years of
planned.
playing this game?
That was planned. I didn't
Bro
know how else to
literally
end the
walks
video.
into a mine and collapses 3 times on itself like he tripped.
Exactly. That was on
So-
purpose, I promise.
During that video, okay, there was many different silly clues. Now, they weren't clues. Every single part of that video was a red herring. So you may, if you want to go and watch that, is that video still up, Nave?
I believe so. I've not taken it down.
Yeah, if you go to the YouTube link, we'll pull it somewhere. If you go to that YouTube link, you can still get to that video and watch it. There is so many red herrings. The description of the video had a red herring, the Minecraft seed, the Minecraft world name, everything.
Yeah,
had
at one
a
point
red
I
herring.
randomly like opened the chat and typed random
We
things
just
in.
quite literally
Yes.
tried everything,
it was
even though it was a red herring.
Correct. It was a complete red herring. However,
Hi.
one thing that one thing, right, that wasn't included, right?
It wasn't
Um,
a red herring.
There wasn't a
Was.
red herring at the
I'll
beginning
go on
of
now.
yeah.
So
Yep.
we were stuck on this for like at least like 10 hours, I would say. Too
Yeah.
long either way.
Yeah, you guys took
But then
so
I had
long
a
to
new
kind of.
Eureka.
You guys were
I
like
was like,
diving
wait a second,
really
why
deep
does he
into all the
pull
hard
up-
bits.
oh, wait, I'm like, wait a second, why does Nave pull up the multiplayer server? And then there was sticking out like a sore thumb a server so obscure
Yeah.
that had a clue that was actually a clue.
You
Then
guys
that
took
help
so long
command
looking at the
was
wrong
used
clues.
for a Discord bot, the ARG bot,
Yep.
because they had a Discord command. There were actually two, but one of them didn't work. So typing that help command got us to the next stage, and when I pasted that command and the bot said proceed, I yelled proceed to everyone, and they were like, "What?"
Funnily enough
It took
about
us
that.
so long.
Funnily enough about that clue is that if you typed into that bot, if you typed in /help and then wrote nothing about it, it would splurt out a line something like, "You can't be looking at the forest while you're focusing on the trees," or something like that. Little did we know, that was a clue for us not to watch Nath's gameplay. But I
Correct.
tend to believe other than the fact that it made us lose 6 minutes, I think it's to save our eyesight from such a lack
said
of
6
riveting.
minutes,
We even
but okay.
followed the coordinates. We tried finding the world
Yeah.
seed. We tried looking at the coordinates. It was insanity.
And we were in the
Until-
Discord as well. Like we
until
were
the
watching you guys
/help
go.
command was found. It was insanity.
It
We were
took
watching
so
you guys
long for
do
us
the
to
wrong thing
see
for
that
so
in the
long.
beginning of the video.
You were just-
Eventually, we just tried to use the seed in the video and go to all the coordinates he went to and visibly posted.
I initially wanted to deny the theory of the seed because there was no way that a seed would generate something this arbitrary would be a clue.
I can't believe that. Yeah. So
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
literally, he opened Minecraft, went to the multiplayer list, closed it, then went to single player, and in that time we saw the help code, and this help code said proceed, as Charles says, and as we proceed on to the next slide, you'll see this gave us a roll of the green cube. Now, as I said, you got purple, yellow, and then green, right? So this is the next part. Now in this channel, lovely George posted a audio recording, 1 minute 23 long. I love the way it says 23 at the end. Just saying.
You're
1
forgetting
minute 20
something.
23 binary.
Yes. So carry on.
Yeah, you're forgetting one simple thing.
Yes.
When we got the new role, all access to previous channels was revoked. We could not speak in them, we could only see them. A lot of
Correct,
people were
yes.
struggling.
So
Yeah.
onto the audio recording. Now this audio recording had multiple different audio in it, multiple different sounds and different things. Now there was very big misleading clues. Now when you extracted the audio recording, if you downloaded it in Audacity or whatever audio editing program, the marker, okay, inside of the audio, right, has a marker 01, left over in editing. This was a misleading clue. Now you may be wondering what was inside the audio, Alex?
The audio was 1 minute and 23 seconds long, right?
Yes.
It took us a bit longer than that to solve. I think it took us over an entire freaking day of brainstorming. Basically, inside that audio, right? What there were a couple of birds chirping just to chill our mood, and then a villager started doing his sound in Morse code. You know, as a professional nerd, I know Morse code by heart, so I knew exactly what it said on the second rerun. And I also found, if you go to the next slide, that it's actually backwards text. It says that backwards text, which reverted, says first mark, last 6 handle. But if you go to the previous slide, you can also see our suffering and our absolute efforts that got shoved into nothing when trying to find what either of these things were. We didn't know what the first mark was. We didn't know what last 6 things we were looking for. And about the handle, well, it was nightmarish. It was definitely nightmarish. Staff had to give us like how many clues? 10 clues? 12 clues?
Going back to the Discord, okay. This this was literally amazing. So we had to go so many times to going back forth, trying to, work out the clue. So George said to us many times, the marker embedded in the audio file isn't relevant and is left over during editing. Just wish the emoji was in 3D. The marker, a handle. Perhaps these words have a different meaning. The first mark here is T, and then Mason decided, here's a massive clue. So this stumped us for so long. Now, if you read the information, it says first mark, first character of the post. Last six tweets at a time, and handle, the KubeCon Twitter handle. Now, remember, first mark, the first character of each Twitter post. Okay? Each Twitter post that was posted during the time of the ARG had one letter at the beginning. Now, that letter was not capitalized. Now, except one of them, I think. Each letter was not capitalized to point
the other
out
way
something.
around. The other way around. All of them were capitalized
All of
except
them are capitalized.
all of them are capitalized except one letter. And a post that, by the way, here shout out to whoever thought of this post on the Cube staff team. Boat. It is in fact the best of all time. You guys should try out the Icebow racing track here at CubeCon today.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Now, just as a quick question, I do have for Nave. During those tweets, you did a boat. Was that in hint of the boat racing?
No.
It was literally
No,
just like
okay,
a filler
fair
tweet.
enough.
Oh.
That's all it was. It was
Fair
a filler
enough.
tweet.
No, fair enough, fair enough. Now, if you go on to the next slide, you'll see where those tweets came from and the links to them. So, on to the next slide, you'll see each letter at the beginning of each post. See what I mean? First mark, the first letter. The last six tweets. Handle, Twitter. Makes sense? So each letter, HHT, HWT. Makes sense? That's how that worked. So, you may be thinking, okay, so what is HHT, HWT? What's the point in this? Why were we stumped on HHT, HWT? Alex?
I googled it, and apparently it's location based because when I googled it, I found an AIM-MC page, but when other people Google it, they find vacation offers to Singapore, which I don't think
So, for some reason, we don't know why, it's location based and is very picky. But yes, if you do pop it in, it does take you. I really do not understand why. It takes you. I really don't understand why it did that for you. But when you popped it in, it obviously it showed name MC. Now this was a special Minecraft skin. Now this has the ARG logo on it. Now, do you want to explain further, Alex?
Yeah, sure. As you can even see on the image itself, there are some weird gray pixel formations, which are actually numbers hidden in the skin. If you go to the next image, to the next slide, sorry, you can actually see those numbers. We blurred every other part of the noise out, so you guys can see the numbers fully at its quality. But then Nate came in and told us, no, don't unfold the skin like a paper origami. You need to keep it together. You need to keep it 3D and use the 3D model provided to us by Name MC. And so we did.
So, yes, keeping it 3D was very important because keeping it 3D allowed us to look at the numbers and think, those numbers correspond to something really important. If you look at the numbers, right, if you look at very carefully, those numbers are in groups of 3. Now, if you know networking and IT and all of that, there's IP addresses. Now, each number, okay, each sets of 3 is, if you think about it in an IP address, you've got, for example, in one of the classes, 192.168. Now, if you think about it, that's a group of 3 for each number. Make sense? So if you look at the numbers, you go, okay, that might be an IP address. It might go to a web page, it might go to a Minecraft server, it might go somewhere completely different, but it must go somewhere. So, on to the next slide. You'll see that what we did was combine all those numbers together. And we thought, you may be wondering, what is a pink square? I'll come on to that in just a moment. So, with the different numbers, okay, we thought, Minecraft server, let's try that. So, good old Mr. Cody, so you want to explain?
Yeah. So eventually what we did, and I did this with the help, I think, of Alexandre de Moor. We compared a list of getting all the IPs, all the possible IPs with all the numbers, and then I just slapped the mcsrvstats.us website in front of them. It's a website that shows you, hey, this is the MOTD of a specific server. I put them all and opened them all, and suddenly Jasmine screamed, "It's a pink square!"
It was a very,
She saw
It was a very
she's-
gracious scream, right? It wasn't violent. It wasn't sudden. It wasn't subtle. No, it was very gracious, wasn't it, Jasmine?
Yes, it was.
I want to
Yeah,
remember.
you
It's
really
Pink
just
Square!
screamed it. But eventually, what just happened? Let me check. Yeah, what happened is, hey, it's Pink Square. We opened the link and I sent the IP publicly. And if you could go to the next slide.
You'll see that this took you to a Minecraft server, and the server was called The End, and it had a pink icon as the server. That's why it showed up in the MOTD, and that's why it showed the pink square. That's why I shouted out, "It's a pink square!" So basically, at the end, Alex, you want to explain how you obviously saw this message?
So it was actually a very rapid action sequence. You know, I saw the IP, I saw the ping square, and then I rapidly, hastily approached my keyboard and I started typing the numbers as I listened to the soundtrack of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Nice.
As the rhythm kept ramping up, I thought this might be it, the final puzzle, the end. I kept typing the puzzle. I kept typing. I did a mistype. I called a 0 and 8. It was absolutely stressful. And then I literally just got into a server first and won. GG. Goodbye.
Woo! So, yes, so good old Alex managed to get to the first result. Now, obviously, because all of us were like, wow, you know, the cubes, as I said at the beginning, the cube stuff are absolutely fantastic. They decided, you know what, you know, one's being a winner. Let's give 10 people a runner-up. So, somewhere I have the runner-up picture, but basically, it's we became runner-up, and you know, we managed to, you know, get a role in the Discord, and we were the first to know about the cubes in 6th to the 8th of October. But honestly, this was the most fantastic, you know, spend of time. It was honestly fantastic over a couple. I think it was like 5 days. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
And honestly, it was a lot of fun. Especially shouting out "It's a pink square" was one of the highlights. For example, many of the herrings of the Twitter, the first mark, last 6 handle was a very big headache. Mr. Nave's video was extremely problematic.
You're welcome.
And eventually we
Multiple
worked out.
reasons. Not
yeah.
only because of the difficulty, because it was hard to watch.
You're welcome.
Yes, it was very difficult and hard to watch. But honestly, thank you all for watching. That was honestly, the cubed ARG was fantastic. And all of us put together, each one of us in one particular different place, you know, and then we all came together at the end and solved it. Was just, yeah, amazing. And honestly, thank you all for watching.
Yeah, well, thank you
Can
guys for
I
doing
do
the
a
ARG.
final speech as well as
Yeah, go for it.
I want to refer to the audience a little bit. I didn't want to win, okay? I genuinely went into this and I didn't want to win. I told every single one of these people, I don't want to win. I just want to solve the puzzles because I just like solving puzzles. I like cryptography, I like steganography. I just wanted to solve the puzzles. I did not want to win, and I won. And you know what I got? I got karma because my prize was a VIP Ultra ticket. And as you can see by my pitch green Shrek roll, I am in fact a sponsor because instead I decided to devote my time to building an ice bow racing track, which you can try right now on Cubed, by the way. And there's GP in a couple hours after. But basically, I got the VIP Ultra ticket, which I still hold, by the way. Here's the VIP Ultra ticket I won. I also gave Codexer, the person who very gracefully wrote the IPs down for me, the VIP Plus free key. And obviously, thank you to the admins, because this was a very fun experience. I've always loved ARGs and puzzle solving and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys for trying so hard on the events.
Here comes the realization. What did I learn from this hunt? Was the spirit of teamwork and co-cracking really worth more than the win itself? Was the real hunt the friends made along the way? Well, hell no! Who am I kidding, dude? I literally carried. I'm not even kidding. Look at the number of puzzles solved per user, okay? I literally dragged this entire team of dweebs to victory. And literally all by myself. My galactic-sized brain literally guided us all to our goal. Get out of here. You only typed in the codes for me. I deserve that more than anyone. See y'all losers. I am still such an asshole.
Just because you may think, you know, that may be, you know, egotistical or anything, no, that was actually planned. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's not not crazy. That is the part of the script. Do not panic. He's chill. He's not mad. But yes, if you do, you want to share your script at some
Oh
point?
no,
He's not mad,
that's
he's
actually what I was
promoting
gonna say
it.
now.
So,
Obviously,
Alex
this is
wrote-
all a massive
Alex-
joke. This is all a
Yes,
massive joke.
so
I wrote this
Alex
for comedic
wrote a
effect.
script.
I
Alex
wrote
wrote
this all for comedic
script.
effect. I did write a script. I wanted to make a video of it, and then I realized I don't upload videos to my channel, and I'm also too lazy to edit a 20-minute let me know copy video. So I still have the script with every single one of my thought processes and stuff I was thinking about during the solve. And I'm going to release it publicly. I have the link already. I'm going to release it publicly shortly with all of the steps, my thought processes, the credit to every single person who solved the puzzle, etc., etc. But yeah, as I said,
just to throw in, just as a a snippet of what you're going to enjoy. Just as a snippet, just as a beginning snippet. The day was June 24th, 2023. I had just come back home after enjoying my town's local festivities, looking forward to a laid-back, chill afternoon. I sat by my PC, and soon I got a ping on the Discord. I scrolled through my server list, expecting to be the bottom of a barrel, non-important ping, but I was surprised it was from the server emitting the signal, Cubed. That caught my eye, and as Cube Discord server doesn't usually do these things unless something big or important is close to happening, I was surprised to see that we were pinged for a mere image, accompanied by an image of George saying, "Huh? Something just appeared outside the venue." Little did I know at the time the image would lead down a rabbit hole, and that would take me to a better part of a week to traverse.
so that's the first
yes.
paragraph of an HK script. Obviously, if the chat is very adamant on it, we can organize an unofficial story time with Alessandro read over of the script with a dedicated audio file by the author myself. But yeah, again, for real, that script is mainly for comedic effect. This hunt was super fun. The team was also super fun to work with. It's a pink square indeed, and look where the pink square got us. We're on the main stage of Cube.
It's a pink square!
Well done, guys.
It's a
All
big
right.
square.
Let's wrap this up. So, thank you guys for obviously taking part in the ARG. It was a lot of fun putting it together. And maybe we'll do something a little bit harder next year. Something you can't just brute force. Something you can't just cheat from Google Forms.
Next time you create something that has to be encoded or hidden some way.
Yeah.
Do not use Google Forms. That's
Honestly, in all seriousness, you guys went way deeper and way harder than we thought we would. You ever would. Like, we were not expecting it to be...
honestly, did Cubed ever expect that we were going to work together on this instead of just one person doing it all by themselves?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if people were going to work together or if people were working on their own or if people would split off into their own groups. And part of the fun for us was just to see how people react to it and how people do it.
So a quick question to anyone: does anybody have any questions about any of the ARG? So some people may be a bit confused on a part, or just something. Just 5 seconds. Is there anything that ever confuses anybody, or does it make all sense?
Well, I think we have some questions in chat here. Pickle on a String asks, got any tips for anyone making an ARG?
Yes,
Ooh.
actually. As a person who has both made and participated in ARGs, the important part about it is that you keep a consistent string with the story you want to tell. So, for example, the story the Cube guys wanted to tell was the reveal of Cube 2023. So all of the clues and stuff were either related to Cube or referred to Cube in some way, or Cube's social media, etc. The important thing is not that you make very hard, complicated puzzles, because you also got to think people are supposed to solve these puzzles without any type of clue. So you want to create puzzles that are maybe original, but obviously that they all follow a storyline that your players can just follow like any other RPG game.
So yeah, adding on to that, so don't take it. So like for example, Cubed, it was all on cubed data, like Cube Facebook, Cube Twitter, stuff like that. If you take your ARG to somewhere like general knowledge or something, then it just doesn't really work. Like you need to keep it persistent to the theme. That's how you work out the ARG. That's what makes it fun and inciting and actually doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Any other questions from chat?
Got one question again from Pickle on a String. What kind of puzzles are funny for y'all?
Personally, like, this obviously depends from person to person. Some people are more visual, so they prefer more puzzle-based, like actual putting together images and stuff. I myself, for example, am a big fan of cryptography and steganography, which means finding hidden messages and finding hidden messages within images. So I know a lot of codes, I know a lot of ways to decrypt text. You know, that has its advantages because on one side, I am able to know a lot of ways people encrypt codes and I know how they look like. But on the other side, I sometimes got confused with so much information that I might think something is way more complicated than what it is. It's very good to have a team to solve these puzzles because people see things differently. If you cycle people through the same puzzle, they will see things the other person has never seen. For example, I always struggle with overcomplicating things and thinking things are 3 times more complicated than what they actually are.
Correct. That's how we made the cube. Like a lot of the time, like looking at the audio file and looking at the particular marker, and then lovely George had to come in. Yeah, that's a red herring. Don't mind that.
that was
for
the main
you, Regas.
example.
But one thing we have noticed, we've got closer to the cube cam.
Yeah, you guys have
We
got
have.
very, very close. I'm feeling claustrophobic even
Intimidate
more
the
now.
walrus.
I'm going to
Intimidate the
I'm gonna go
walrus.
back. I'm
Okay,
gonna go
well, on
back.
that
I'm
note,
gonna
thank you all for
compensate.
joining. We have a panel starting in just a few minutes with voice acting in the
Yes.
Minecraft community.
Woo!
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for telling us how you cracked the cubed ARG. That's pretty much it from us. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the voice acting in the Minecraft community panel here on the twitch.tv/.
Enjoy cubed.
Enjoy cubes,
Stay
everyone.
tuned.
Enjoy
Stay
cubes.
tuned for the
Bye.
next channel. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
cube
The big
guys.
square.